Chelsea fans, I think we have found our new left back. And not because we want him, but because he's literally spreading propaganda since December to come and join Chelsea. I'll tell you who he is. It's the Bournemouth left back, by the way, for those of you that don't know. But is this a massive mistake? Then you've got players on loan. And you know what really infuriates me about loans? You never know how it's going to go down. Datro Fofana smashing it. Bro, he is hardly playing. Santos is not playing. And I'm going to discuss those loans in detail and why we need to be very careful about acquiring a lot of young players, because the problem is you can't control their development. And tomorrow, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you we've got a must-win game. I think Mauricio Pochettino is fighting for his life to keep this role. This role literally could be his last game, and this could do serious damage to him, but we're going to be positive. We're going to look forward to it. We're going to assess the game. We're going to look at the little details, the intricacies, and we're going to keep it stepping. So before you continue, hit the like button. I want 1,000 likes on this video. Number 2, subscribe to the video because it's the best way. We are literally less than 100 away from getting to 33,000. So if we can do it back to the next video, I'd be grateful. And finally, in the comments below, have any of you heard of Milos Kerkez and what do you know about him? I'll break him down in the later video, but I want to see what you know now. So hit the comments, but let's get started. Milos Kerkez is a very interesting player, right? So he has recently joined Bournemouth, and since he's joined Bournemouth, he has been very positive, like to the point where he has gathered a lot of attention from Liverpool. There's been some attention from Arsenal, but Chelsea is the club that have been really sniffing around him heavy. There have been multiple ITKs that have came out with it, and this isn't like the popular move. This isn't the sexy move as in that everyone knows about. However, certain people have said this player reminds them awful lot of the signing of a Malo Gusto. Somebody that can deputize and can play when Ben Chilwell is gone. Well, listen, if he's anything like Malo Gusto, sign him up now. However, what has the player been doing that, in my opinion, has rattled me in a little bit of a wrong way? Well, number 1, we saw these links early on in December, and we covered it. The player has been liking tweets on Instagram and on Twitter, just linking him with a club. And what really frustrates me with that is you just joined the club, mate. It's a bit disrespectful. Today, for no reason whatsoever, his account on Twitter posts a picture of him and Raheem Sterling. Like, for no reason whatsoever, that picture has been stolen. So a lot of you are going to say, Alex, you're reaching. This isn't like concrete evidence that Chelsea are going to buy him. No, but it tells me that the player is pushing this move. It tells me that the player's agents are pushing this move. It tells me there have been conversations, because we've heard stories, we've seen him like comments about conversations and potentially linking him to Chelsea, and now the player is putting stuff like that out there, not caring how he offends Bournemouth. What do we know about him? Very comfortable left back, good on the ball, neat, tidy, good athlete, physically imposing. He's what Chelsea would be looking for, fits the criteria of the model. Is he good enough for Chelsea? I don't know. I don't watch Bournemouth enough to give you an in-detailed analysis of the player and to put my neck on the line and say, this is exactly what Chelsea need. He's proper Chelsea. I can't do that. So what I do like about him, though, is he's spoken about us in the past. He was very complimentary of the midfielders. N'Golo Kante was an idol, and we need to decide what left back we're going to get, because with Hall and Maatsen going, with Chilwell consistently injured, with Cucurella not being up to par as of yet, we're going to need a left back, and it looks like Cucurella will be getting sold in the summer if we can find a suitor. Now I want to talk about some loans, because loans are really interesting, and what I don't like about loans is you don't control the fortune of the player once the player goes away. You can put some clauses in the contract, the way that Chelsea have done with Broja, but still doesn't deem that he's going to consistently play. And it doesn't mean that the player is going to go and enjoy himself and develop, because I am going to start with Datro Fofana. Datro Fofana went on loan to Union Berlin and absolutely stunk it up. I think he got 1 goal in 18 games, fell out with the manager. There was a whole narrative that built up that he's really angry with the manager because the promises weren't kept. He's just not a good person to have in the dressing room. And all of a sudden, narratives such as he isn't good enough for Chelsea or he was a terrible signing, even though we paid like 8 million for him, occurred. There was a bad aura around the player. So when the player came back, everyone was like, what a waste of a signing, we threw money in the bin. Well, surprise, surprise, the player's gone on loan. He's in a different environment. He's in an environment which probably feels more comfortable in. 5 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. Scored an absolute screamer for Burnley. And why am I talking about? I think we need to be very hesitant how we judge players when they go on loan. Because what they do on loan at one club might not be replicated at another club. There are multiple players that have gone on loan and not been successful. It doesn't mean that they're not good. We've seen this with so many players. We've seen it with Callum Hudson-Odoi. He went up to Bayer Leverkusen, didn't have the best season. Now at Nottingham Forest, he looks like a very good Premier League player and was worth way more than 4 million that we sold him for. So it's frustrating, but we have to be realistic and honest. For Datro Fofana, he is gaining a great reputation. He's got 10 games to get himself another loan move or potentially be sold on. I don't think at this moment in time he's Chelsea quality, but he needs game time under his belt. The second player that's gone on loan, Armando Broja. Broja's not had a good time at Fulham. He got sick, Muniz has got in the team, and all of a sudden Muniz is scoring and can't stop. And now Broja is literally coming on for little cameos. He got an assist, and to call it an assist is a joke because the ball hit him and Iwobi just converted it in with a little flick. So we can't call that an assist, because that's why I hate the assist statistic actually. Like, it really infuriates me more than any other statistic out there. He got a contribution for the goal, right? We're going to give him some praise. Broja's gone out there, and every game he misses, Fulham have to pay. Every game he doesn't play a certain amount of minutes, Fulham have to pay Chelsea. It's not great for his development. It really isn't. So it's really frustrating, especially when we considered how good of a player he was at Southampton, and we wanted to get around about 50 million for him. So we'll see how that pans out and how that will turn out in the long run. But at this moment in time, this loan's been shocking. Another loan that's gone shocking. Andreas Santos. And when I said Andreas Santos should have stayed at Chelsea and should have been involved with Chelsea and should have been covered from Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo, people laughed. People said you're talking nonsense. Well, he's gone to Strasbourg and he's not playing. And he's not playing not because he's not good enough. He's not playing because Vieira doesn't trust him and Vieira won't have him next year. Santos at this moment in time is a Chelsea product. Yes, it's a multi-club system, but Vieira is trying to keep them in the league. Vieira is not going to experiment. Vieira is not going to go and give opportunities to young players. He already has a squad full of young players that Strasbourg owns. So this was just the wrong move as of this moment. If you sent him at the start of the year, he would have worked his way into the team the way Angelo did. But now you literally have a player there that's going to be there for another 10 games, whatever is left, and he's just bench warming, and it's super frustrating. And I just feel like we've wasted a good young prospect, a year of his life of development where he could have got minutes and he could have been good, he could have flourished. Porto was the right move, and I don't know why we didn't do it. Tomorrow's game has literally become a must-win. I think Mauricio Pochettino has got himself in a corner where he says he really wants to be loved by the Chelsea fans the way Eddie Howe is loved by Newcastle fans, the unconditional love. I think, Mauricio, you don't understand the task and the magnitude at the moment that you're facing to recapture the love from a certain group of Chelsea fans, or maybe majority of Chelsea fans, because what we've heard is excuses, and what we've heard is a lot more factors to why we're not winning rather than emphasis on the pitch for us to something to look forward to. At this moment in time, it's just very frustrating, it's just annoying, but it is what it is. Personally, in the long term, I would really hope that if Mauricio stays, which I highly doubt, he learns that results will buy him the love. Good performances on the pitch will buy him the love. And he doesn't need to keep reminiscing how he doesn't have a good relationship with the fans and this and that. Tomorrow's game is massive. We've got issues at left back. No Ben Chilwell. No Levi Colwill potentially. Cucurella might have to start, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me that at this early stage after a recovery from such a serious injury, he might have to start. We don't have Badiashile. We are literally down to bare bones in what we have. We're most probably going to go with Gusto, Disasi, Silva, and then we're going to have to fill the left back spot. Don't be surprised if somehow Trevor plays at right back and Gusto plays at left back, because we're going to have to just put square pegs in round holes. And it's really frustrating, and in the long term, I don't think this is going to be sustainable. But it's a must-win game. We're literally 5 points behind Wolves, who are 10th. Like, we win our 2 games in hand, we're so cushy in the sense that we could get a Europa League spot. It's realistic. We don't win our 2 games in hand, and we are stuck in mid-table obscurity to the point of this season needs to get written off ASAP, and Poch will most probably get sacked. So tomorrow is a must-win. Performance doesn't matter. When you get to that stage, it's survival mode. And once you get to survival mode, it's all about just backing the team, hoping we'll win. Because look, guys, I don't want Pochettino to stay. You don't want most probably Pochettino to stay. But him losing tomorrow, I don't think gets him sacked. I really don't. And I don't see the first choice manager coming in mid-season. There's nothing to play for. So what I do think is going to happen, and what I think is realistic, is we back the team, we go for that FA Cup, we hope and pray we get good draws, we get to a final and we roll the dice again. Because we could have won the Carling Cup. We were in a good position to win it. 90 minutes was a good performance. It's the extra time that ruined us. And you know, if we had won that cup, everyone would have been like, hey, whoop-de-doo, we're in a conference league. Now it's all about the FA Cup. League doesn't matter anymore. And it would have got us some enthusiasm. But it is what it is. I'll be here tomorrow, regardless, win, lose, or draw, to give you a match review. I hope you'll enjoy it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day.